Hey everyone, welcome back to Underwear News Briefs, the podcast. This is Tim coming at you again. I am the editor over there. We hope you're enjoying the blog. We have a few new things coming out very soon and a few plans that you'll hear in the podcast when I talk to Tim from WildmanT's, who is our special guest today. So we have a lot of stuff going on. Our one-year anniversary is coming up in October, and hopefully we'll have something cool for that. And without any further ado, here is Tim from WildmanT's. And now joining us on the podcast is Tim from WildmanT's. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Tim.
So your company's been around for a little while, and you do a lot of the enhancing underwear that we've talked about on our blog the last couple of months, but you've done it for quite a while longer. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started into making the underwear the way you do, and what's been some of your big sellers?
The start of our company has actually been interesting to a lot of people. We actually are in our third year, but we've been steadily growing quietly. We chose to early on just not put a whole bunch of money into everything and try to launch all at once, but to slowly just keep steadily growing every single year. And we've been doing that successfully. But the company started almost as an accident and from sort of family tragedy, if you will. I used to run a design company for websites, magazines, and ad campaigns, whatnot. And some of my clients were like Go Software or Pistol Pete. I would make their shopping cart and create their design elements.
Oh, cool.
And I've always had an interest in underwear because I went to school for fashion design, but I got sidetracked a long time ago into publishing. And, well, long story, I was 6 years into my previous company called Yellow Puppy Designs, and my mother got sick, and she became unable to work, and it frustrated her more not being able to work than her illness itself. So I created WildmanT's, which was just a shell company, and it hosted all of Go Software products, because the gentlemen at Go Software are good friends of mine, and they just basically let me copy their entire system just so my mother would have something to do. All she had to do was, go to the mailbox or send some emails. But it gave her a purpose, if you will.
Okay.
And that's really how the company started. And to our surprise, we actually started selling a lot more than we anticipated. And once that started taking off, like I said, my original interest always was in fashion and more specifically underwear. So we started to dabble with making our own little samples here and there, just thinking, what's going to happen if we throw this into the mix? Because I have absolutely no previous experience with wholesaling or merchandising or anything along those lines, because directly out of college, like I said, I went directly into publishing. So it was just a little testing element that we started off with. And so we were taking the photos ourselves, and everything was just very hand done, if you will. And our photos were coming out horrible. Again, not a professional photographer, not having proper lighting. Every photo we took was just completely wiping out all definition, if you will, of the model. And, you need to see some definition because a large market of mine was the gay market, and, well, they like to see a package.
Oh, yeah.
So we, at 2, 3, and 4 o'clock in the morning, were just trying over and over and over these photos, coming to a just absolute disaster with each and every one of them. So we started, all the tricks. A cock ring, stuffing. We tried everything. Everything just looked fake or phony. And not until I had gotten the model to actually lift his package from his balls, if you will, did the picture start to look good. But every time he moved, we would have to readjust him all over again. So I contrived this little elastic band contraption to basically hold him in that position so we can get more photos.
Okay.
And it was nothing more than an elastic band that went underneath your boys and lifted everything up and forward, and then the elastic band was pinned to the waistband. And it worked, and we got all of our photos, and it solved the problem. Well, I had many cups of coffee that night, and couldn't sleep after it was done, and I was just in a giddy mood. And my mother was just, she was laughing because my mother was a big part of all this, because we were, like I said, just me and her at the beginning of this, and she was embarrassed, and yet she thought it was funny, and the whole thing. She's a very shy person to begin with, so it was sort of interesting process. And my sick mind was just laughing nonstop in my head, trying to actually go to sleep, and the word ball lifter just kept coming into my head. And so instead of going to sleep, I woke up at 5 in the morning and created a prototype of this thing, completely as a joke, completely as I was going to do it as a gag to just freak my mom out. And so I created one of these things, took a still photo of it, and put it online, just so that she'd see this odd contraption online in the morning, and she'd go, "Tim, what'd you do?" But instead, I got a phone call at 1 o'clock, because I had slept all afternoon, with my mom going, "Tim, where's this product? How do we get it?" And I had no clue. My machine was going on and on and on. So I finally called her back, and she's frantic. What do we do? What do we do? Apparently, between the hours of when I made the prototype and posted it, we had sold 50.
Oh, my God.
We had no product whatsoever. I mean, so the ball lifter was born, and it was completely meant as, a little gag on my mom. And, it instantly turned from a gag to a reality. We didn't really have to do much modifying of the original prototype. And so instantly, we started production of it. And we were a small company, and so we had a few friends that we knew that were sewers. And we bought some raw fabric and materials real quick, and we started making the ball lifter. And quite quickly, it became the best-selling product of all of our products.
Very cool.
So we then just started introducing more and more underwear lines of our own, and the ball lifter just kept continually being the bestseller. And that's really the concrete of our company is the ball lifter. And at that point, not knowing anything about the industry, we didn't patent it. We didn't do anything like that because we didn't know. We didn't intend on doing it either. Then we realized after the fact of selling it 2 or 3 months, we really thought, shoot, we got something here we should probably patent. We realized there was too many loopholes, too many red tape, and one of the main criteria is the product had never been sold yet. And so we had missed that boat of patenting the product, but it tended to help us in a weird way, because shortly after, other people started creating the same product, calling it different things, but very close to the same name. Like, I don't want to actually use names, but the names were so similar, and the products were identical, that people seeing another site would then, when their time had come to go by, type it in Google, and they'd end up at my site.
Oh, cool.
So other people copying the product, which, I'm very happy they did, because it was something the industry needed, it ended up boosting our sales quickly. And so I just took a strong position that point on, I'll keep making it. Whoever wants to copy can, because I have more ideas, and I don't think they're ever going to stop.
Cool.
So, and now, 3 years into it, we have an entire swim line, underwear line, male enhancement line. And, again, I'm seeing a lot of the same products coming out from bigger and more powerful companies. But, again, it flatters me a lot to think, I started this company in my bedroom, and here we have the people which I've always admired, believing in the same product and taking it to the next step as well. So, my time will come to where I'll be a large company, and I'll be happy with it. But again, our business model is slow and steady, and it's been that way since the beginning, and that's kept us very happy.
Very good. That's a good way to do it. So, especially in this economy, you don't want to grow too big too fast.
That is one of the best things about this. We started off with $0 and zero investment. And like I said, from day one, we've had growth from the very get-go. And when the economy plummeted a year and a half ago, I thought for sure that it was our momentum. But instead, we actually got busier.
Yeah.
Our sales shifted from American-based to all over Europe, and Japan, but our sales kept growing. And so we're here in our third year, and we're experiencing our best month, actually this month ever, that we've had.
Cool.
So yeah, we're very excited, and we just keep releasing new things. That's the best thing about having a small company, I think, is I get to release products as often as I want. And I don't need, for a season, I don't need to have a line. I don't need to have an entire collection. If I wake up in the middle of the night and I want something, I can have it online and for sale in shortly under 7 days.
Very cool.
And we do that quite often. I'm often at the gym thinking, gosh, need a piece of paper pencil. And by the time the day's over, we've already got the patterns made.
Very cool. Yeah, you always have something interesting. I always have to make sure to go over and check it out at least a couple times a month just to see what you have going on.
And a lot of our success actually came from you guys and from the other underwear blogs. Like I said, I was not too savvy with this entire industry at all. And I stumbled across you guys early on, and you were very helpful with the success and the momentum of our name. So I thank you.
Cool. Well, you have the same name I do, so Tim and Tim. So you have the same name I do.
Name?
Yep. Tim and Tim. So yeah, as you can tell with the blog, underwear is a passion of mine too. So it's fun to report on it, and you always have something really fun.
And it's not so bad on the eyes.
That it is not. And you have the new one that, what's the new one you just came out with? I'm trying to look it up. Of course, I had it the other day, and now I can't find what I did with it.
Our newest product was it's a avocado boot. It's a drawstring with the built-in cock ring inside.
Okay, this was... I forget. I wrote it up on the site. Of course, now that it comes to the podcast, I left it. But yeah, I like your jocks a lot too. So I have not tried them yet, but I like the way they look and the pouches. So they are very good.
The swimwear actually uses a different, a more standard technology because we find the ball lifter, although it's extremely comfortable and natural looking. When you swimwear, you tend to swim around, jump around, and it's not as stable, if you will, although a cock ring tends to be more suited for that type of active wear. So in our swimwear, we introduced detachable and adjustable cock rings. They're actual cock rings that are matching the bathing suit, and they snap right into the suit.
Oh, cool.
So they can be worn with or without. And pretty much, I think, every item we have in our swimwear line has the detachable cock ring.
That's cool. Because I know we had to talk about that a while back. Some guys like it, some guys don't. So that's a good option. And
the biggest thing is that it's adjustable and it's comfortable. Cock rings they have an amazing purpose, but and in Lycra, everything pretty much stays in a good spot in the first place. The ball lifter was created differently because it works differently. The whole functionality behind the ball lifter was to lift everything up, not necessarily strangle it.
Yeah.
Which brings more strangling than lifting. So the ball lifter is far more comfortable than a cock ring, but we put the cock rings in the swimsuit because you tend to only be in a swimsuit for 4 to 6 hours, and it's not a daily thing that you wear.
Exactly.
And a lot of people just like wearing cock rings. Period.
That's true. That's true. There are a lot of people I know who do, so it's like, so this would be perfect for them. So you have anything else going on in the pipe that you're working on, or is it just sort of whenever the inspiration hits you?
Well, like I said, our company is growing constantly, and so although it may not look like newer things are happening on the site, a lot more things are happening on the back end. We're reaching different markets, and we're really making outreach to all the wholesalers internationally now, when before we just sat back and let them come to us.
Mm-hmm.
Our staff is ramped up, and we have an amazing new assistant director, Scott Atkins, that works with us, who's helping us expand on so many different levels, from all the Facebooks to the WordPresses to every community portal out there. And it's really helping our visibility. So
definitely, that's what I'm do when I do work, because I'm laid off, but is social media and marketing. So yeah, there's a lot out there you can get involved with, and it can be overwhelming at times because you have 14,000 things at once. Because it used to be just, you could do radio, TV, outdoor, or print, and now it's like that plus Facebook, Twitter,
and by the time you master one of these arts, it's time to retire it because there's a new one out.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing and a bad thing. I'm going to focus on the fact that it's a great thing because, it keeps someone like me constantly on my toes because, like I said, my original background was advertising and programming and designing. And although I love working in swimwear and underwear the most, I don't ever want to lose my knack with programming and the entire internet side of what it is to do. And if you don't keep working at it, 6 months and everything's foreign to you.
Yeah, because Facebook changes like every month. They're about annoying me at half the times. It's like, you're about to drive me insane. I have someone who goes, as soon as I learn it, they change it. I was like, yep. It's
so true. And it's great and annoying at the same time.
Exactly.
All right, anything else new down the pike? The only thing we're going to start to do is a lot of our viewers and customers, because a lot of people have been following our progression through our underwear blog, which is menandunderwear.blogspot, which is only about WildmanT's from day one, how we started the company, and me ranting and raving and rambling about not knowing how to do this or how to do that.
Yep.
A lot of people over the last couple of years have been writing back asking, how do these products actually work? Do they work? And so we're going to start doing some amateur videos of,
cool.
actually how to put these products on. I think, again, another advantage of being a smaller to medium-based company, I don't have to worry about impressing anybody or offending anybody or investors or anything along those lines. So
yeah,
we're gonna drop drawers and show how these things are actually put on.
That's funny. Probably good, because I have friends who ask me, "It's like, how do you put these things on?" And I'm going, "It depends on what you're doing. Everyone's different." It's like none of them are the same, so don't ask me. Some of them are annoying because I have tried the ball lifter before, and I was worried. I was like, I don't think this will be very comfortable. Then I tried it, and I'm like, this is very comfortable. So, and other ones out there that I've tried have just been like, these are horrible. I'm not wearing these things. But I was really impressed with that.
A lot of guesswork will be taken out as well. I mean, my dearest friend, years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, he went to buy one of the original, I don't remember which, maybe to exist. It was a swimsuit, and it supposedly had some sort of male enhancement contraption inside. And when he bought it, he had no clue what to expect because online it didn't show you, and it really didn't show you how to use it. And so
exactly.
I remember one weekend he had come down to Palm Springs to visit me, and we were going to go to a pool party, and we had had a couple cocktails in advance. And he called me into the bathroom. He's like, how do I get this thing on? And we were just like two giddy girls trying to wrap this string. And it was the craziest string humanly possible. And there was no instructions, no nothing. And yeah, it just did not work.
Yeah. That's a major complaint I hear about the enhancing underwear. It's like, how do you put it on?
Our stuff is not that complicated. There's one that's a little more complicated than others. But our stuff is pretty straightforward. But I think the viewers will get a kick out of seeing it before they buy it.
Yeah.
That rather than getting home and say, oh, I understand this, but that whole confidence of buying something you don't know how it works is a little shaky. So I want to try to, like I said, drop drawers and show.
There you go. So you can look for the video soon.
Yes, you can. I think we're going to be posting them originally on our blog, just to see what sort of feedback we get from them before we put them on the main site.
Cool. Yeah, I like your blog, so I've read it through the years too. So I suggest
I don't get back to it as much as I wanted to. There was a time where I was writing every day about almost feeling like I was going crazy and or losing myself in what the heck have I started. And now I look back and it all just seemed to fall into place, one small piece at a time.
Yep.
Which again is how I like it. I like the comfort of figuring things out at the pace that I'm going instead of trying to rush after something that it seems that it's getting away from me. So.
Exactly. And blogging takes time too.
It does.
It takes a lot of time.
And more these days, that's a rare commodity around here.
I have friends that's their job at work, and they never get around to it. It's like, oh, I do it. When I go back to work, that's going to be the interesting part about the blog is working on it and working full time again. So the blog itself can be a full time job.
It looks like it can be. How big is your staff over there?
We have a couple of guys. We have a couple guys helping us. I think there's a total of 6 of us now.
That's nice.
So it was me up until March of this year. Then I got 1, and then I got 2, and then 3, 4, 5. So then just branched out. So the funniest thing is we have actually a straight guy that's very much into underwear who writes on the site too. So that's been very interesting to have on the site. So he hasn't really discovered much underwear, and every time he gets something new, he's just floored by it. And he's like, I want more and more and more. And I'm like, now you know how we feel. So it's like I've been in underwear for quite a while, so I have a big collection, but he's getting just new things every time we turn around. So
excellent.
And I was like, you're writing up a column every so often about what you like, what you find you're not liking, whatever. Just your discovery in the world of underwear. And it's been probably one of the most well-received things we have on the site.
Oh, excellent.
Because the gay guys are going, straight guy in underwear, what? We got to read this. And I know we have straight readers, too, so they're probably going, oh, cool. So
I get asked that question a lot because 90% of our marketing and efforts are geared towards the gay audience. Mm-hmm. And I get straight guys writing in or women writing in for their husbands, why is this marketed as a gay product? Can't straight men wear it? And of course they can wear it. I mean, gay men can wear, or straight men can wear any of the products we have and benefit from them and like them.
Yep.
The reality is gay men just tend to, not only am I an active gay man and it's easy for me to market what I know, mm-hmm. but the reason why I'm deliberately marketing the gay audience is gay men tend to do new things first.
Yep.
And, I believe, somewhere not into too far distance, these things will be common for both straight and gay audiences. But history always shows that the gay audience tends to try the new stuff first, and they're a little bit more vain about their physical appearance. Yep. And so if there was a push-up bra years ago for gays, they would have jumped on it.
Exactly. Yeah, and straight men are more and more getting into underwear, so.
Exactly. And one of my favorite companies out there is Aussie Bomb.
Yep.
And when they did their their Wonder Jock, they market it towards a straight audience, and it finally, that whole train of consciousness has started hitting the straight market. Hit more in Europe than the United States, but I think it goes gays, Europe, then United States.
Yeah. Because I told a friend of mine, I was like, European underwear is a lot more advanced than ours. U.S. is usually last to catch on. And I'm going, we need to hurry up with that.
Right.
So, because, Aussie Bum, we've talked to them quite a bit lately, and they've been amazing. So, and just the stuff they come up with and the way they market it is just amazing. And I think because they're in Australia, they can do a lot more of that than they would if they were here. So
I think Aussie Bum would be my favorite company on every level as far as their products, their marketing efforts, their image. I mean, they just do a brilliant job. And when I grow up and get big and strong, I want to be just like them.
Exactly. Because they do the videos all the time. And certain weeks they come out with like 2 or 3 a week. And I got...
everything's top quality.
Yeah. And then I got the my second pair of Aussie Bums, which were the new body form, about a month and a half ago. And those were just amazing. I'm like, okay. And they just sent us a ton to review, like Monday. I got up and there was this big package from FedEx sitting there, and it was 18 pairs of Aussie Bum to review. So I'm like, it's Christmas.
I can't even begin to imagine what your underwear drawer is like.
I have a whole dresser of underwear, and that's when I bought a lot of it. And now with the blog, we get to review a lot of it, and a lot of companies send it to us. And it's just grown amazingly. And then I told friends of mine, I was like, before I'd like buy new, like brand name new stuff every so often. But I'd go to like the Marshalls and the TJ Maxx and stuff and buy it like a season later. But now, since I've been on the blog, it's like all up-to-date underwear from just about most of the company. So I'm loving it. I was like, that was not my purpose of starting the blog. I was like, I was unemployed and bored, and I loved underwear. And a great side effect is I've gotten some incredible underwear and met some great people. So I'd say
that's awesome.
Probably 95% of the people in the men's underwear business have been incredible. I mean, there's only a few that I have really haven't had much good dealings. But
on the podcast, we'll dish it out the other 5%.
Exactly. So, but it's a real close-knit community, and I think it's really great, and everyone's really helpful. So, and you don't really see that in a lot of businesses these days. So it's very cool.
And your blog tends to reach to all of them without, creating that animosity between the companies. So it's very easy.
I try to, because we're trying to get, and you'll hear it here first, people. We're trying to write more postings that you get to know the guys behind the blog, because we've done a lot of sales, a lot of reviews, stuff like that. But we want to make it so it's like, oh, here is somebody, because the article I'm working on is, I like underwear with pouches, real good pouches. Mm-hmm. So I'm writing a blog posting about great underwear with great pouches. What really is a good pair of underwear that I like? And like I said, I'm like,
you doing it?
I'm writing.
We have our first pouch underwear. Okay, we have our first pouch underwear coming out in about 2 weeks.
Oh, cool. Well, send some over, and I'll write them up. Definitely. And so it's like, here is the ones I like, and I always put on it, these aren't the end-all be-all of pouches, but these are the ones I have worn that I like. So, and I'm like, there are tons more out there, so, and we're trying to get a little bit more interaction with our readers. Like, okay, because on the site now, if you go under the reviews, they can rate the underwear on the same scale we do. If you click on the review and go actually open it up in its own window. So if you think we got it right, you can vote along with us. Or if you think that pair sucked and you liked it, you can review it too. So that's been really fun. We're trying to get people to interact more and say, hey, try this. I like this. So it's slowly doing it. And we've noticed on posts, like I said, we do where it's like you get to know the guys behind it. You get more comments than if it's just a regular post. So that's going to be fun to do. At least I think.
I'm just so impressed with your blog from start to finish. I'm sure the reviews are going to be just as happening. I'm looking for them as we speak. I'm sorry.
So
where are these new reviews?
They're
on the blog right now.
They're buried in there. But if you click, I'm trying to think what our last review was. I don't think the last one I posted, I did the review comment, but if you search Aussie Bum, and then you go and there'll be a review for, I think, the body form, and there'll be a little star system at the bottom.
Gotcha.
So I thought it would be something good for our readers to do, because we review it, but that doesn't always mean they agree with it. So
I always like your reviews, especially when they're about me.
What's that?
I said I always like your reviews, especially when they're about me.
Hey.
Of course, that's biased.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. Cool. As far as that goes, I mean, it's pretty much all we got going on new right here. We're going to be, like I said, trying to grow as much as we can with all the community portals and try to get a lot of more, like you were saying, interactive communication with our viewers, because I get a lot of direct email from everybody. So we're just trying to figure out things that we can put on our sites or our blogs so people can actually interact on a much more regular basis, because I don't physically have all the time to write all these people back, and I wish I did. So we'll try to give them something that they can interact with. We're going to start the model contest again, and hopefully also try to generate more user photos. When we first started the website a couple of years ago, we encouraged all the people who bought stuff to take quick snapshots of themselves and send back to us and start our own gallery. And people like that a lot. So we're going to try to bring that back into the fold and get as much crazy photos as we can. But that's the point. We want crazy photos.
Cool.
We like the photos where people are just as goofy as possible, because
I
like to see people having fun in the underwear. There's a time and a place for everything, but on our site, we tend to like the goofy the most.
There you go.
It's a reflection of us a little bit.
Cool. Very cool. Well, I guess we should wrap it up. So we've gone a little over 30 minutes, which, wow, didn't seem like this that long. But
it did not. You're an easy talker.
Well, so are you. So tell everyone what your web address is, just in case they don't know.
Our web address is www.wildmant.com, as in Tim Wildman. That's me.
Cool. Well, everyone go check it out, and thank you for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Tim. Have a great day.
We hope you enjoyed our podcast with Tim, and we will be bringing you more soon. But in the meantime, if you go over to our website and join our email list, you'll get advance notice of contests, some special sales we're just doing for our email people, and some giveaways and stuff like that we'll be doing. So go over there, sign up. It's on the right side. You'll see email list sign up, I think it's called. And put in your name, confirm it, you're ready to go. And we will bring you another podcast very soon. And have a great week, people. Bye.